parcel of 88 acres of land, and
Yes.
you did this deal with Tesco. So what exactly was the deal that you agreed?
They would buy 30 acres out of the 88 acres. We would have had to clean the site first, which was about 8 million. We got 66.5 million for 30 acres, and the rest of it was ours, freehold, to do with what we wanted. It obviously build the stadium, car parking, hotel, casino, whatever else we want. Plus, of course, the other 80,000 square feet of retail. That was also in our package, as it were.
So, how did the deal come about with Tesco?
Well, we tried for ages. I'd had meetings with Marks and Spencer's joining with Sainsbury's, and to be honest, the most I could get from them was about 40 million. We also then had Asda, and Asda were even less at the time. Than they were 35, 36 million, something like that. And all the way along the line, Tesco at the time had said they didn't want a big site there, which was a big sort of blow to my thoughts of the scheme, because I wanted a great big supermarket there. That was the key thing, or a retail thing. Anyway, as a sort of final thought, I saw Walmart, which is the biggest supermarket retail group in the world, had bought Asda, and it was just at the right timing. And I rang Tesco, and said, listen, I can't believe you don't want the site, because as it stands now that Walmart have bought Asda, there's going to be a damn big W over this site right by the M6, and I can't believe you don't want it. So they rang back the next day and said, okay, we'll take it. So he said, how much do you want for it to blow it out, exact words, blow it out of the water? And I said 75 million. And they fell off their chairs. But in the end, we got down to 66.5 million, and part of the agreement was it said no chipping at the last minute, meaning you can't suddenly get to the final point and then say, oh, it's not a bit, it's a bit rich, or we'll pay you 50 or something, or 50, 66, and they had to stick to it. And that's what, as far as I know, that's what happened. By the time that all of that was processed through, I'd left anyway.
So you don't know why that deal wasn't completed?
No, I don't know why the club didn't own the stadium.
Who owned the land at that point? Was it still?
Well,
British
it was
Gas?
there. We had the option on the land, and
Yeah.
I had the contract with British Gas. Derek Higgs and I directly did the deal. It was only for £2 million for the whole 88 acres, so it wasn't much to pay for. And it was, we bought the 88, it was 2.5 million, and there was a bit of linkage to if we got a really bumper deal from a supermarket over 50 million, we had to pay a small percentage to British Gas over the top. But that was a good deal all round. I don't know, truthfully, I don't know. The suggestion that I don't understand why it didn't go through and that the club didn't own the stadium. I've no idea. I know there was a chap called John McGuigan, I think his name was, who was the chief executive of the council at the time. He was very keen to try and claim the development for the council, because it was a part of Coventry that needed regeneration, and he wanted, I think, to be the regenerator of the whole thing. The truth of the matter was, it was never his idea in the first place. The only thing that we had to do was to make sure that the council gave us planning consent. And they were, of course, going to do that for a number of reasons.
So in the end, the council bought the land?
I don't know. I truthfully don't know. Well, they must have done, because otherwise they wouldn't have owned the Rico. All I know is that if somebody had shown a bit of guts at that early moment, none of what's happened over the last 20 years, and especially the last 15 years, would have happened. There was no need for that to happen. If you have a company like Tesco, as big and as strong financially as Tesco, and they are there sitting with 66.5 million for you, plus the income from all of the other retail at nearly 2 million a year, it doesn't make sense to give it away.
I mean, this was after you left the club?
Definitely after I left the club, yeah. I left
when you left the club in January 2002, it was everything was set up.
Everything was fun, and there was Tony Eggs was the property director at Tesco. Ian McLaurin had retired as chairman, but was still obviously very much the sort of doyen of Tesco, if you like. As far as I knew, it was done, or going to be done.